Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State says he's still in the race to contest the Ebonyi South Senatorial District elections on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. Umahi states that the federal high court in Abakaliki did not disqualify him from the race, but instead ordered that a fresh primary election be conducted in the senatorial zone. The court had dismissed a suit seeking to mandate the INEC to approve APC's submission of Umahi as the party's candidate for Ebonyi South Senatorial District. Now, in a right of reply, Ebonyi State Commissioner for Information, Uchenna Orji, joins us now to speak on the court order disqualifying Governor Dave Umahi from the Ebonyi South Senatorial race. Good to have you with us on Newsday this afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you very much.
So we have been following this back and forth, especially with the court orders. I just want for you to give your own response to the allegations and the confusion that has trailed the governor and his brother and a certain former candidate of, her name is Anne. Anyways, we'll get back to her name. But I just want to get your comments on how things are playing out and whether or not you feel that there will be success when the re-elections are done in a matter of days.
Thank you very much. Let me first of all correct an impression. My boss, the governor of Ebonyi State, was never disqualified as an aspirant in the Ebonyi South Senatorial District primaries. That was not the decision of the Federal High Court. The Federal High Court, in its judgment, did look at the circumstances and ordered for a fresh election. That was the crux of the decision. I was a bit taken aback when the lawyer to Anne was making some insinuations like that yesterday. That's why it is very important that one comes up to this platform to really dispel those insinuations. What the governor did as a loyal member of the party was to wait for the party's reaction in the circumstance. He wouldn't have taken any other decision. And right now, APC has reacted. The reaction is that in compliance with the Federal High Court's decision that a fresh election shall be conducted. Of course, a date has been fixed, and that is on Sunday at the local government headquarters. That is Afipo, not local government headquarters, by 1 p.m. And it's going to be by indirect primaries, and the list, that is the delegate list, as earlier adopted and approved before now, was also adopted to be used. No status quo, so to speak, was changed in the list of delegates that will participate in that election. And the election is coming on the 31st day of July, that is on Sunday, 2022. That is the crux of the matter. But let me mention that Anne relying on certain provisions was actually misquoting the provisions of the Electoral Act. Like when a section 115 was referred to by Anne, by his lawyer, I would make bold to say that my dear boss was never a candidate of the presidential election. And Section 115 does contemplate a candidate who picks nomination or does sign a result, a nomination, having been nominated. He now has 2 nominations as a candidate. The law is that you cannot. But in this case, Governor Umahi was an aspirant during the presidential election. He was never a candidate. And so that is why he did approach the court when he saw that INEC failed, neglected to add his name in the list of candidates for APC in the senatorial election. And that is in compliance with Section 285 of the Constitution. He had to come within 14 days. So he didn't really breach any provision of the law, either of the Constitution or of the Electoral Act. But a very loyal, party man and as a citizen who does respect the law, he decided to obey and to comply with the issue of submitting himself for a fresh election. So we're very much ready. On the 31st day of July, the people of Ebonyi South Senatorial Zone will decide.
Now, some time back, while reacting to the High Court judgment, Governor Dave Umahi said that Mrs. Agom Eze misled the judge and she lied under oath that she never withdrew from the contest. But from her lawyer, whom we spoke to yesterday, she says she never withdrew. So how do you reconcile the two positions?
Yeah, the party or political party is like a vehicle, is a platform. And from all indications, if Anne is lying, the party cannot lie. From the decision of the party, you can see that she actually did the withdrawal. But come to talk of it, we saw quite a lot of papers that she did sign. Of course, all of them were certified true copy that, of course, we saw that she signed. Not only that she did sign, she went by herself to present her withdrawal letter to the party. And of course, I'm sure INEC was also communicated about that. And so she has, by that, disqualified herself even from contesting. But it is up to the party to know whether she's going to contest or not. But one would say at that point that Anne Gomez did voluntarily withdraw from the contest. And equity can only avail you if you are coming with clear hands. And so the court wouldn't have availed her such an application of prayer sought by her because her hands were not clean. So it is proper to say that she actually lied on oath. And of course, the criminal consequences of lying on oath.
Indeed. Now, just in the event that things don't go the way you or Umahi anticipate when the APC senatorial primaries take place, what's next for him?
Well, like I did say, my boss is a very loyal party man, was a one-time party chairman. He knows the principles of party politics. At all times, he must be loyal. But let me assure you that our governor is being honored, is being celebrated in Ebonyi State, and incidentally, he's contesting from where he's coming from. That is the zone he's coming from, and that's where I'm also coming from. So I can tell you the mind and the mood of the people of Ebonyi South Senatorial Zone. They love and respect him. I won't say more until when we get to the bridge, we'll cross.
Well, we know how these things are. Certainly situations like this leave bad blood in the taste of the mouths of those who have gone through such an ordeal. And the Ebonyi State citizens all watch as there is a squabble for power above them. How will you go, or how will all of you within the party, especially Mr. Dave Umahi, go about reconciling hurt feelings and bad blood within the party, as this will surely leave a mark of some sort?
I am very sure that our dear sister Anna Ligwe actually did goof. It was a very horrible mistake going to say that she never did withdraw. We leave it up to her conscience, but let me say that my boss is a father of the state, and he has a lot of respect for everybody, and he does everything to ensure inclusive governance in politics. It wouldn't be any issue at all. I'm sure after the election, you see that we would have all come together to appreciate that our governor is the man to beat, that nobody would have been there except him, because going by what he has done in the state and in that zone, nobody would have even come near to match him. Just that this part of the world, people try to do anything in the name of right to do this and right to do that. But I think that is not going to be an issue. She's our sister, and we also respect and love him. We'll just get her back to her senses, and we'll work together. No issue at all.
Now, I'd like to follow up on something that you said earlier. We all know that Governor Umahi purchased the nomination form for the presidential ticket of the APC, but he lost at the primaries. So I'm curious, was it that while he was buying the nomination form for the presidency, he also bought the form for the senatorial seat? Or when exactly did he purchase the form for the senatorial seat? Or is this just, compensation because he lost as the primary and they're considering his status as governor? Can you clarify that, please?
Yeah, actually, I am not the horse. I wouldn't be very certain or clear about the actual date he did pick the form. But I would say that he acted independently. He had that interest to go for the Senate to represent our people. Of course, that has been the yearning of the people. And he has got the right. He has got a legal backing under the Constitution and under the Electoral Act. So that is not going to be an issue at all, because there's nothing unlawful about his right to pick the senatorial nomination, nomination form as an aspirant. That he has exercised as his right, and there's nothing bad about that.
Well said. I mean, I know that you're focusing on Dave Umahi, but at the same time, his brother is also in the news for rejecting that appointment as RMA FC secretary, and says it's basically for job seekers. I'm just wondering if you have any comment on that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say much about that, but I know that Boston Umahi is a man who also believes that in as much as he has really worked for the party, has worked for the state, that other people who have not got opportunities, who have got no, the wherewithal, should be given opportunity to aspire and to also, occupy positions. It's just a sacrifice that he made, and he would rather be applauded for that.
Well, Ebonyi State Commissioner for Information, Uchenna Orji, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and speaking with us.